of influencers.
The fat Jewess said in an interview with CNN that influencer marketing is not going to last long because eventually the market will be shattered with influencers. What do you think of that?
Yes and no. When you look at one of the latest newspapers we released, it's called Affluence over Influence. And what it really means is that a lot of people call themselves influencers, but they're really not. So they purchase a ton of followers, they show their butt all the times, but that's not being an influencer. What I mean with an influencer is that you really have an impact on what people do. And my good friend Oliver Luckett, who built the audience and sold it, he actually came up with the term affluencer, which means that you're actually influencing the influencers. So, think about the Beyoncés of this world, right? And the Jay-Z's. Almost everyone looks up to those types of people.
Yeah.
Those are the real influencers. There's a very big kind of, sub-layer underneath that's also influential, but then, that entire body of emptiness almost, of hey, they just show their body all the time, or their butt one day and then their tits the next day, and that's not really being influential. That's just doing the same thing as 50 or 100,000 other people are doing. And up to a certain extent, the fat Jewess has a very original kind of voice, and that's also how he's been able to create that huge audience. But there are not a lot of people who are able to do that. So he can be called a real influencer, but the majority of influencers, I think, will likely not really get work anymore over time.
So if you have 1 million followers and you just show your ass and tits, you won't get work anymore.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. But because if you have 1 million followers, that's a pretty big audience. But there's a big sub-layer underneath that probably is the largest base of people. So say, I think if you have 1 million plus, you probably belong to the top 10% of the world, right? In terms of following size. Those people probably have, some kind of voice. But that bottom layer between between 10 and 150,000, those are the types of people who either have to develop themselves and be able to grow to 1 million, or they'll die down eventually.
Follow the Moti on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat.